Imagine a world trapped in endless night, where stars blink without light and the sun never rises. This was the beginning of everything, full of silence and fear. In the heart of this cold and dark world, a mother's pain grew too strong. She could not bear to see her children locked away under the earth any longer. With only her courage, she created a sharp weapon and gave it to her son. What followed was a surprising act that would change the world of gods forever. The sky god, proud and strong, visited the earth again. But this time, he had no idea of the plan waiting to shock him from his own family. In a single quick moment, his own son struck from hiding. The powerful sky god, who placed his children in darkness, was now the one who suffered. From his fall, the sea turned red and something new was born. Even in pain, this act brought about the start of a new world with light and change. With their father gone, the Titans rose from deep under the earth. Now free, they formed a new world that promised power, but also brought fear. Yet history would soon repeat itself. One of the Titans, Cronus, feared that his own children would do to him what he did to his father. To stop this, he did something truly sad. He swallowed each child just after they were born. What fear must burn in a parent to eat their own baby? But not all hope was lost. The mother, Rhea, cried with love and looked to the earth for help. She was tired of losing her children one by one. Gaia, the earth, heard her cries and decided to act. Together, the two found a way to save the last child by hiding him on a faraway mountain. Instead of a child, Cronus was tricked and ate a stone. This small act of love and cleverness would lead to a new future none could stop. This hidden child was Zeus, who was raised away from danger. Time passed, and he grew stronger, filled with dreams of justice and change. When the moment came, he stood against his father. A battle began, shaking the world and calling others to pick a side, old or new gods. It was a war that thundered for 12 long years. In darkness and storm, the world waited for a winner who could bring balance and light. So now we wonder, how did a world of fear and shadows become a world of gods, heroes, and shining skies? What secret powers shaped history? Can love defeat power? Can a single trick change the lives of many? These are the questions our journey will try to answer in the coming chapters. From darkness to greatness, the rise of the gods is a tale of pain, courage, and change. And it all began with a mother's love and a hidden child. Cronus ruled after beating his father and freeing the Titans. He married Rhea and became a powerful king, but fear lived in his heart from the start. A warning came that his own child would one day take away his power. Scared, Cronus ate each baby the moment it was born, hoping to stay in control. He thought this would stop the future, but love once again changed fate. Rhea, hurt and full of sorrow, could not let him destroy all her children. With Gaia's help, Rhea saved her last child. She secretly took baby Zeus to a far and hidden cave and gave Cronus a soft stone wrapped in cloth instead. Cronus believed he had swallowed the child like the others, but he was fooled. Far away on a mountain, Zeus grew strong with the care of the earth. Years passed, and when Zeus became a young god, he planned to fight back. He waited for the right time to stand against the one who kept him away. Zeus returned and gave his father a special drink that made him sick. Cronus threw up each of the children, who were now fully grown gods and goddesses. Free again, Zeus and his siblings joined together to start a war. On one side stood the young gods, and on the other, their father and the Titans. This great war was called the Titanomachy. For 12 years, the battle shook the earth and sky as both sides used all their power to win and rule forever. The gods found help from powerful beings in prison. They freed the Cyclopes, who gave Zeus the thunderbolt, Poseidon the trident, and Hades a magic helmet. These tools changed the battle. Zeus threw lightning, Poseidon shook the sea, and Hades could now move unseen. The Titans now had true fear in their eyes. Finally, the young gods won. The Titans were thrown deep into Tartarus, a dark hole under the world. A new time began, ruled by the gods above the sky. After the war, peace returned, and the gods needed to decide who would rule the world. The three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, chose to divide it fairly. To keep balance, they drew lots. Zeus won the sky, Poseidon ruled the seas, and Hades took the underworld. Each brother accepted his part without more fighting. This decision shaped the world forever. The sky was full of storms. The ocean moved with power, and the land of the dead stayed deep and quiet beneath the earth. The three gods each received powerful gifts from the Cyclopes to help them rule. These gifts became symbols of their power and were used in both war and peace. Zeus got the thunderbolt, which could light the sky and strike with great force. Poseidon held the trident, a three-pointed spear that shook the sea and land. Hades took the helmet of darkness, which made him invisible. With these tools, each god showed their power and control over their new part of the world. Zeus watched over the sky and ruled from Mount Olympus. From this high place, he could see the world, send lightning, and decide the fate of both gods and men. He became the king of all gods, keeping order and justice. People asked for his help with weather, law, and protection when strangers knocked on their doors. Birds like the eagle flew near him, showing his power to all. When Zeus was angry, storms came, but when he was calm, the skies were clear and gentle. Poseidon's world was full of waves, sea creatures, and storms. In his underwater palace, he watched over sailors, ships, and the deep with strong control. He could cause earthquakes by hitting the earth with his trident. People feared crossing him and gave gifts before sea trips, hoping for calm waters. Horses were also part of Poseidon's world. He created them and was proud of their beauty and strength, often riding them across the waves to show his power. Far from sunlight and waves, Hades ruled the quiet world of the dead. His kingdom was a place where spirits went after life ended on the earth. This dark realm had important rules and gates. Cerberus, his three-headed dog, guarded it. Only few could enter or leave once they passed the river Styx. Though feared, Hades made sure the dead were treated fairly. He decided where each soul would go: peaceful lands, normal fields, or deep, dark prisons. After the gods built their new world, Zeus chose Hera to be his queen. She was his sister, but also a strong and powerful goddess in her own right. Their marriage was full of both love and trouble. While Hera wanted a loyal family, Zeus often fell in love with others, both goddesses and mortal women. These many loves brought many children like Apollo, Artemis, Hermes, and Persephone. Some were gods, others became great heroes on earth. Hera was the goddess of marriage and family. People prayed to her for strong homes and safe births, but she was also known for being very jealous. Her anger mostly came from Zeus's affairs. When other women had children by him, Hera often punished both the mother and the child with harsh acts. One time, she turned a woman into a cow and had her guarded by a 100-eyed giant. Another time, she tried to stop someone from giving birth. Hercules was one of Zeus's children with a human woman. Because he was not her child, Hera hated him more than any other and tried to hurt him many times. As a baby, Hercules was attacked by snakes that Hera sent, but he was already strong enough to kill them with his tiny hands and survive the danger. Later, she made him lose his mind and harm his own family. His sadness afterward led him to begin great tasks to earn forgiveness from the gods. Even with her anger, Hera's role was very important. She was honored in temples as the protector of women, children, and those getting married. Her symbol was the peacock, a bird known for its beauty and many eyes on its tail, reminding all of her watchful nature and great pride. Though the royal couple often fought, their rule on Olympus shaped the lives of both gods and humans, teaching lessons of power and respect. As Lord of the Ocean, Poseidon ruled with great power and strong mood. His anger could rise like a wave, and his sea was both beautiful and dangerous. He did not forget insults and punished those who disrespected him. Before sailing, people often prayed and made sacrifices, asking for peaceful waters. Poseidon's sea kingdom was full of strange creatures and deep wonders. He could shake the earth with his trident, warning all of his mighty control. One famous tale tells of King Minos and his great white bull. He promised to give it to Poseidon, but changed his mind and kept the animal for himself. Angered by this lie, Poseidon chose a strange punishment. He made Minos' wife fall in love with the bull, which led to the birth of the Minotaur. The Minotaur was a terrible creature, half man and half bull, who lived in a large maze. It became a sign of punishment when gods are not respected. While Poseidon ruled the seas, Hades ruled a cold and hidden world. The land of the dead was under the earth, and he rarely left his dark palace. To reach this realm, the dead had to cross the river Styx. They paid Charon, a boatman, with coins that were placed on their eyes during burial. Those without coins could not enter and were trapped forever at the river's edge. The journey to the underworld was one every soul had to face. Inside the gates of the underworld, a huge dog named Cerberus stood. He had 3 heads and made sure no soul ever escaped back into the world above. The spirits then met 3 judges who decided their place. Some were sent to Elysium, a bright land for heroes and the truly good. Others went to the asphodel fields, a place for those with simple lives. The worst were sent to Tartarus, where they faced endless pain and shame. From the head of Zeus came Athena, fully grown and dressed for battle. She was born when Zeus felt great pain, and a god split his head open to free her. Unlike other births, hers was a surprise. Her mother, Metis, was swallowed by Zeus after hearing that their child might be stronger than him someday. Yet instead of a danger, Athena became his favorite daughter. She was wise, brave, and calm. Very unlike Ares, the loud and wild god of war. Athena had a love for heroes and often helped them in their toughest moments. Perseus, Odysseus, and Hercules were all lucky to have her by their side. She gave thoughtful advice, special tools, and clever plans. Where other gods offered strength, Athena showed that thinking first could win battles. For this reason, she was honored as a goddess of both war and wisdom. Spears and owls became her signs, symbols of the smart and the strong. Athens, one of the most famous cities in history, was named after Athena. Both she and Poseidon wanted to be the city's protector god. To decide, each gave a gift to the people. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, causing a spring to appear from the rock. Athena touched the earth and grew a green olive tree instead. The people chose her gift, as olives brought food, oil, and trade to their city. After the contest, Athena became the guardian of Athens. The people honored her with prayers, games, and a great temple high on a rocky hill. This temple was called the Parthenon. It stood with tall columns and showed the city's deep respect for their wise and caring goddess. Even today, the ruins remain. The Parthenon is a sign of how great ideas and smart choices can last far beyond the time they were born. Athena was also one of the virgin goddesses, which means she never married or had children. Her name meant honor, thinking, and fairness. Many girls looked up to her as a model. She taught them to be strong in both mind and heart, not just body. A leader could also be kind. While gods like Ares fought with anger, Athena used order and plans. Her way proved that battles can be won using more than just harm and fear. After Athena's wise acts, the tale moves toward another goddess, Aphrodite. She was known as the most beautiful of all and used this gift to guide love and desire. Many stories say she rose from the sea foam after a great act of power long ago. From her first steps, hearts were stirred, and even strong gods followed her charm. Not just about kindness, her beauty could burn like fire. She had many lovers and used her looks to control others, shaping both joys and problems for gods and men. After Athena's wise acts, the tale moves toward another goddess, Aphrodite. She was known as the most beautiful of all and used this gift to guide love and desire. Many stories say she rose from the sea foam after a great act of power long ago. From her first steps, hearts were stirred, and even strong gods followed her charm. Not just about kindness, her beauty could burn like fire. She had many lovers and used her looks to control others, shaping both joys and problems for gods and men. Though married to the builder god Hephaestus, Aphrodite loved Ares, the fierce god of war. Their love was kept secret, hidden from Hephaestus's watchful eyes. But the truth came out. Hephaestus made a net so fine no one could see it, placed it on their bed, and caught the two while they were together in shame. When the trap held them, he called the other gods to witness. They laughed loudly at the sight, as the beauty of love and power now sat locked in a net of revenge. Aphrodite's choices often caused big trouble. When asked to choose the fairest goddess, Prince Paris picked her, and in return, she promised him a great prize. She used her gift of beauty to make Helen, the most beautiful woman alive, fall in love with Paris. But there was one great problem. Helen was already married. Helen left her husband, King Menelaus, and went to Troy with Paris. This escape lit a fire in Greece, and kings raised armies to bring her back, starting a great war. The war that followed, called the Trojan War, was not only about love, but also pride, power, and pain. It lasted for years and brought death to many heroes. Aphrodite tried to protect Paris in the war, using her powers to keep him safe. Yet even a goddess could not stop the fate of struggle and fight from growing. Love started this battle, but anger and revenge made it worse. Aphrodite's gift, so sweet at first, now helped to build a tale of war, fire, and heartbreak. The gods were mighty, but their stories were not just about power. Each tale also shared lessons for mortals, lessons about pride, rules, and choices. When mortals disrespected nature, denied the gods, or acted with too much pride, they were punished. Their actions became warnings told through myths. For example, King Minos failed a promise to Poseidon and received a cruel result. From this, people learned that disrespect and lies bring suffering. Mortals who showed too much pride or tried to be like gods also met harsh punishment. Pride without care or respect often led to a fall. One tale tells of a young man who flew too high with wings made of wax. The sun melted them, and he fell to his death, reminding us to stay humble. Such stories were not only fun, but also helped people understand their place in the world and the need to follow rules made by the gods. Gods were everywhere in daily life. People prayed at home, made food offerings, and visited large temples to show thanks or ask favors. If there was not enough rain, if boats went missing at sea, or if sickness came, people believed gods were sending messages that needed action. They believed good actions could gain support from the gods, while bad behavior could lead to pain, bad luck, or even death in stories and life. Nature was also treated with respect because each part of it could carry a god spirit. Trees, rivers, and caves were believed to have powers. No place was touched without care. A person would think twice before cutting a big tree or entering a deep cave without saying a prayer first. This respect for the earth was more than belief. It was also survival. Angry gods could send storms, earthquakes, or sickness to punish wrongdoing. The stories of gods were also stories about fate. No matter how strong or clever a mortal was, some parts of their life were already decided. Even gods could not fully stop fate. Heroes often faced hard ends, not because they were weak, but because their path was written by a higher power. In Greek belief, fate was not a thing that could be fought or changed. It was like a thread. Once cut, the story ended in the way it was meant to. Why did these stories last so long? Because they offered more than fun. They gave answers, warnings, and hope to people living hard lives. Through these tales, children learned about kindness, courage, and truth. Adults remembered that even great kings were tested and judged. These myths became a part of life, told at home, in school, and in city centers, repeating the idea that respect and balance led to peace. Some may ask, are these stories true? But that was never the point. The value was in the meaning, not the facts. Myths helped guide hearts and minds. Many gods, like Athena or Apollo, showed how smart thoughts could solve problems. Their legends gave strength during real struggles. In the end, these stories still live in art, books, and language today. The lessons they carry remain as strong as mountains and as deep as the sea.